They rolled me off. They thought I would die. They tried to bury me while I was alive. They never know purpose, cannot die. They thought I was hopeless, but I survived. They rolled me off, yeah. They thought I would die. They tried to bury me while I was alive. They never know purpose, cannot die. They thought I was hopeless, but I survived. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Purpose can't die. 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 Mistreated and wounded, I got frustrated. You thought I'd die, but I am anointed. I am royalty, so don't you mess with me. I've got the authority that He has given. I'm still alive. I am still alive. I'm still alive. Thank you, Jesus. Purpose can't die. No. Purpose can't die. Come on, sing, Kaza. I am stronger, much wiser. I feel the anointing. Young you purpose. Young you purpose. Young you purpose. You wrote me on. You thought I would die. You tried to bury me while I was alive. Yes, I'm still alive.
Yes, sir. Purpose can't die. Doesn't matter what they try. It cannot die. You know, each and every Friday when we come on here for Balancing on Purpose and we hear this song, I hope that you are encouraged, recognizing that whatever God has placed in you, it doesn't matter what the enemy tries, it cannot die. And I'm going to give you the story again that I gave you about the donkey that fell in the hole. And the owner decided that he was not worth the trouble. And he said, you know what, I'm just going to bury him right there. And he called all his neighbors and he said, you know what, come and help me bury this donkey because I don't have the strength to pull him up. It's not worth it. And the donkey was there in the hole thinking, why are they not helping me out? I have been so good to you. I've worked for you all of my life. And I expect you to come and take me out of this hole. And when the donkey looked, he saw dirt coming down, only to see that his owner and all his neighbors were there throwing dirt on him. The owners intended to bury him in the dirt. The donkey said, hey, all right, I have news for you. And with every shovel of dirt that went down, the donkey trampled on the dirt and it elevated him. And he actually just made a step. He made steps out of the dirt that was thrown on him. So what they meant to kill him, what they meant to harm him, to bury him, the donkey used it to pull himself out of it. You know, they say that when life gives you lemon, you make lemonade. All right. Purpose cannot die. So no matter what they try, you get lemons, make lemonade. So whatever you get the dirt thrown at you, use it as a stepping stone to get out of wherever you are. purpose cannot die. We have to fulfill what God has placed in us. So, good morning. Good morning again to all our listeners from across the nations of the world. Today is Friday, and I'm happy it's Friday. You know why I'm happy it's Friday? Because I said to myself, I'm going to treat myself over this weekend. And there is a place that have the best ice cream this side of Jamaica. This side of Jamaica, right? Because I know y'all gonna tell me about Devon House. All right, so we're not this side of Jamaica. There's an ice cream shop that's called Kind. Can I tell you, if you're in Edmonton and you've not tried Kind ice cream, try it this weekend. It's long weekend. It's holiday weekend. So I'm going to treat myself this weekend to some ice cream. All right. So I am happy it is Friday. I hope you're happy it's Friday. How has your week been? I've had ups and downs. Yesterday I wasn't here. I was not well. But I thank God that I'm here this morning with all you beautiful and wonderful people from across the nations of the world. I see Stephanie, you are on. You're always so bright and early. She's a bright, bushy tailed listener that comes on every Friday morning. She's always one of the first ones to jump on. So, good morning, Stephanie. Good to see you this morning. I hope that your day is going well so far. And I'm looking forward to the segment that we're going to have this morning. I see Dr. Dr. Rose is in the house. Oh my goodness. I have not seen that name in a long while. So, good morning, Dr. Rose. It's so good to have you on HGG Radio with us this morning. I know that you're looking forward to a wonderful segment. I am. And you hear the song. It says purpose can't die. So no matter what is happening, we have to walk in our purpose. You know, it is said that the two most important days in your life is the day you're born and the day you find out why you were born. So I pray that for everyone that's here under the sound of my voice, that you have already identified those 2 days. You know when you were born and also why you were born. Purpose can't die. So this morning, we want to say again, welcome to all our listeners from across the nations of the world on the radio side of things. I'm seeing Jamaica, I see the US of A, I see Canada and the UK. Good morning, good afternoon. It is so good to see you guys. Mr. Dwyer, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. So good to see all of the HGG family jumping on this morning. I truly appreciate your presence. We're going to jump into the segment Balancing on Purpose. And we have a very special guest with us this morning. We have Mrs. Fiona Dwyer, and she's coming all the way from the south side of Edmonton. She's coming all the way from the south side of Edmonton. Good morning, Fiona.
Good morning, Odette.
So good to have you with us here on HGG Radio. How's your morning going so far?
It's going good. It's going good.
Okay, wonderful. What's it like on there? All right, folks. For those who don't understand what I'm saying, all right. So you know the city is north, south, east, west. So you're on the south side. What
Mhm.
is it like on the south side? Because right now on the north side we still have fog, smoke. So what is it like on the south side of Edmonton right now?
It's pretty much the same. So we have had some fog when we were coming this morning, and it smells smoky. So it's pretty much the same.
Okay, okay, all right. Didn't want to hear that. So, folks, you know, if you've been listening to me from I think maybe about Wednesday or Tuesday, I indicated that there's been some wildfire here in Alberta, and it's pretty early for the season. I know that I think when I had said it on Wednesday, yes, when I had said it on Wednesday, I think we had about 91 active fires. I'm not sure what the number is this morning, so remember to pray for Alberta. It is not the norm for us to be having so many wildfires so early in the season. And
Mhm.
so it is unprecedented. And you know, it is because of climate change. So we want the Lord to just shift things around because there are many persons have had to leave their homes and evacuate. And, you know, I know how traumatic that could be, you know, so we want to pray for everyone that's affected us in the city, we're affected by the smoke, but for those who are closer to the activity, we want
Mhm.
to pray for them. So again, good morning and welcome, Fiona. All right, so folks, I know if you're paying attention, and I know my HDG family, they pay attention to everything. I know you might see her name. You said Dwyer, and you heard me say good morning, Mr. Dwyer. All right, so you know, some time ago, I actually had her husband here on Balancing on Purpose. So we have a poor couple listener people. Like, listen, if I'm gonna have both on, you know what it means. Like both of them are balancing on purpose. I just had to get both of them on because they are a phenomenal couple and they are making strides right here in Edmonton. All right, so Fiona is a wife, she's a mom, she is a daughter, sister, friend. All right. She is a financial broker. All right. So, first and foremost, she is a financial broker, and she operates her own brokerage house, and phenomenal in the financial business. She's also the worship pastor for her church, which is Victory Life Church right here in Edmonton. And so she's also a member of the financial board and at her church. And so you are hearing the multiple hats that she wears. And I am sure that there are a few more hats that I may not have mentioned. And so right now I'm going to give you about 3 minutes, Fiona, to just introduce yourself to our listeners. And if there's anything that I left out, go ahead and let us know.
Okay, so my name is Fiona Dwyer, as Odette has mentioned, and we do run a financial brokerage company here in Edmonton. And yes, like she said, I have many hats. Mom to my beautiful daughter, proud wife to Damien, businesswoman, daughter, sister, church activities, all of it. But it's very fulfilling to be able to be doing all of those, and I just love what we do, and everything that we represent in this city. So
Awesome, awesome. All right. So before we go into our little talk, I just have to give you this one. Someone just typed in our chat, she is pretty.
thank you.
All right. So I know that one would have made you smile. So I just had to put that in there before we started. All right. So, yeah, folks, you've heard it from her mouth, the many hats that she wears. And we're talking about balancing on purpose this morning. And as I often say each and every Friday when I come on in the segment, balancing is to be in a position where you will stand without falling to either side. That's what balancing is all about. It says to what? To stand without falling to either side. That's what balancing is. And we talk about purpose, and that is the reason for which something is done or created. So, what is your purpose? Why were you created? So, we're going to be talking about balance and we're going to be talking about purpose this morning. And so, Fiona, my very first question to you this morning is what inspires you? With everything that you do, what inspires you?
Okay, so what inspires me? There are a number of things, but I'm gonna try to summarize it. Um, so, first of all, my faith inspires me a lot. So that's the very first thing that anybody will notice when they come in contact with me. I am a child of God. I am not afraid to say it. That's my inspiration. But in addition to that, my family also inspires me. So, wake up every day. I'm excited to do what I do because I know that my family depends on me. So I have my daughter, my husband, my mom, my parents' mom, everybody. We pull together. So that's of course our inspiration. And then the other thing that inspires me quite a bit, and I've really been coming into this more in these last few years, I would say, is the desire to be that person of influence for my community and for our people. Like that for me right now is one of the biggest things. I'm inspired by the fact that, I am someone who can be that catalyst of change in our community. And why do I say that? I believe our community needs to um, have someone to be the catalyst of change to get them out of one, the poverty and the poverty mindset. And so a lot of people go around, we believe the lie for so long, but the enemy has told us that, oh, it's okay to just have enough or, to struggle. But what about more than enough? That's my thing. I believe God wants us to have more than enough. And so he says, the cattle on 1,000 hills are mine. And so that is my desire, my drive that gets me out of my bed every day because there's so much things that I have to do. There's so much things that I want to accomplish. And when I feel like, oh, I'm tired, when I think about those dreams and goals, I jump out of bed. I'm like, yeah, let's go. So that's things that inspire me the most to keep going.
Awesome, awesome. A catalyst of change. I love it. I love it. I'm listening to you, and I thought to myself, I didn't tell the folks this morning that we go way, way back. But, I've known her for a while, and yes, she is really a force to be reckoned with. And I love what you were just saying, that you want to be the catalyst for change. And, we're looking forward to what you are going to be doing in the near future. All right. So, we talked about what inspires you. Um, what is your biggest accomplishment to date?
Okay, so my biggest accomplishment on it, I would definitely say running our business. So running the business with my husband has been the biggest accomplishment because of course, you come to Canada. We come to Canada for the Canadian dream, and so many things are enveloped in that. But when we discovered our business, and for me, I have a financial background. As you know, I used to work with the banks as a mortgage specialist, and at the time, it was very fulfilling. Helping people to get into their homes and stuff like that. But when we decided to run our financial brokerage business, the model took on a different shape. So yes, it's in the financial industry, and yes, you're helping people, get better financially. But one of the things on a deeper level that gives me that accomplishment, and of course, I have not felt like I've arrived, like not by a long shot, but so far, we teach people, like we care for people financially. So we're teaching people how to properly protect and secure their family's financial future. And I think that is huge because with someone's finances, everything else comes into play. It affects every other area of life. And so when we sit with someone, it's not a transactional thing, it's a relationship that we're building. And so we teach people what are the best places, where the best places to put their money, right? We are there with people in some of the most darkest times of their lives when they lose a loved one and they have no money or what's going to happen. We're there with a check to say, hey, take care of things because you had something in place, you had a claim payout or something like that. We're helping people to get out of the rat race because now you can come, you can be a part of the business, and you can actually grow your own business. So for me, that has been one of our biggest accomplishments because it's for us, it's not transactional. It's more of a relationship building and also helping people to get out of where they are financially and securing and protecting them for the future. So for us, that is huge. So I would say that has been our biggest accomplishment so far.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Catalyst for change and getting persons out of the rat race. All right. So, Fiona, what advice would you give to someone right now that is trying to find their purpose?
All right. So the advice I would give, and I remember when my husband was transitioning from his job to come full time in our business, and many times when you're trying to find your purpose, I can tell you Not everybody will understand it. Not everybody will be supportive because they don't understand, and that's okay. But I would say when you're trying to find your purpose initially, just serve. That's one of the things I would say. Serve. Give of your time, volunteer, whether it's going to be at your church or in different areas of your life. But start by serving. If you When you find that thing that you are willing to do even for free, and it gives you that fulfillment, and it gives you that happiness or that joy, you know that you have found your purpose or you're on your way there, right? So that's for us. That's one of the main things I would say, is basically to start serving, volunteer your time and give to others. And I remember when, like I was started saying, my husband was coming full time, and, you know, it was really weird to a lot of people that he was going to leave his job that was paying him a good amount of money to, start his business. Like, are you crazy? And he'll tell you that there's nothing else right now that he would do that actually gives him that fulfillment than what we do here, because finding that purpose, and it's enveloped so much different things, but finding your purpose and really helping and pouring into others financially, it's huge. So I would say start by serving, whether it's at your church, whether it's at a food bank, volunteering at different places, missions, like do those missions, give up your time, and then definitely you will find your purpose in that way. See what makes you happy, see what makes you feel fulfilled, and see what makes you feel like you're actually contributing, right? Because you'll be serving in different areas, but there's something that will pull at your heart, will tug at your heart and say, yeah, I think this is it. So start by doing that.
Okay, wonderful. All right. So, folks, I hope that you're taking notes. We're getting some very good advice here as to how to find your purpose, because I know that it doesn't even matter your age. A lot of times we think that, because we're older, you should know what your purpose is. But even older folks are not aware of what their purpose is, and they're still seeking, and they're still looking for their purpose. So, get your pen and your paper out and take some notes here and find your purpose in, just giving of your time. And even if you're doing something that you're not being paid for and you're loving it, chances are that's where your calling is. All right,
Mhm.
so Fiona, based on everything that we've talked about and looking back over your life, is there something that you know now that you wish you had known when you are just starting out?
So what I would say is, when starting out, there are a few things I wish I had known, that when starting a business, that it would affect every area of my life. It actually does. Um, it affects every area of my life because, one, it's not a 9 to 5 where I'm clocking in at 9, so I'm at work, and then I clock out at 5 and I'm done. No, my business, it takes up different times. I was at work last night until probably 12:30 in the night. So you have to learn to, and we're talking about balancing on purpose. You have to learn to balance the different things, right? So it affects different areas of your life because, of course, your family dynamics is gonna change, right? It's not going to be exactly how it was when you had a job. You have to be flexible, you have to be fluid. So that's something I wish I had known before. Not that it would deter me, but I would have wanted to kind of know. But it does. Your family dynamics change because, of course, there's different, you have to, okay, accept help, from your village, right? Accept the help and all of that. But the other thing with that too is that you now have to exercise your faith more. You have to exercise your faith because, remember, when you have a job, you have a sure salary that's coming at the end of a week or at the end of 2 weeks. Now I have a business. Initially, you're eating what you kill, right? Right, Odette? Yes, you're eating what you kill. And so you have to, balance that and prepare and organize yourself. And of course, now we have a team and everything, persons are working with us. But in the beginning, like man, you have to exercise your faith because there is no salary coming in. There is no salary. So you have to now say, okay, I'm getting paid, but then what am I going to do to make sure that happens? And then the other thing is that they know that I would become a counselor as well, because you're actively pouring into the lives of others all the time, right? Whether it's agents or it's clients, you're actively pouring into people's lives. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing, right? But like I said earlier, our business is not a transactional business. It's not just that. We are a relationship, it's relational. We are building long-term friendships along the way as we go. And so it's more of a servant leadership kind of thing as well. And so you have to willing to do things that there's no immediate paycheck for, but of course in the long run it's going to pay off. So there's that, like mentoring people, being there for persons, like just helping to pour and develop others, is one thing. And then of course they know that I had to be constantly growing. So I have to be constantly growing and reading and praying and lifting my faith and everything like that. So those are some of the things that I did not anticipate coming into a business, but it's proven to be really good so far.
I love how you have adapted. Love how you have adapted.
Thank you.
And, it leads me into my next question, which is ministry. All right.
Mhm.
So we do know that you do a number of things at your church. So,
Mhm.
and ministry is very, very important on Sundays. And I'm listening to everything that you're saying in terms of pouring in. But is ministry only on Sundays for you?
Definitely not. So so ministry for me is not only on Sundays, it's an everyday thing. And one of the reasons why I say that, it's my lifestyle. So, yes, on Sundays we have worship service, we sing and all of that, and then that's great. But for me, ministry is every minute that I breathe, every minute that I come in contact with someone. It's in my quiet time where I'm ministering to myself. Because as you know, as females, you have different things that you experience and go through, and then you have to get grounded. So there's that. So I have to be grounded in my faith and in myself. And then of course, when I open my door and I step out the door, that's my ministry has begun, because I'm interacting with people. And so there has been times in in my career where clients would have called me, and we sit with them and they're doing stuff, and at the end of the meeting they're like, Fiona, no one has sat with me and really explained about my credit like you have. You've taken the time and you explained it, and they were so grateful. I had another client one time, she had called me when she got approved for mortgage, and she was literally bawling on the phone, and just being thankful for me taking the extra, going the extra mile. And at the end of the day, I started to cry. So it has been really such a good experience. But for me, my ministry is in the marketplace as well. So there's Sunday morning, when you're doing the active, worship service. But then my marketplace is my ministry is in the marketplace. And for years, I used to wonder, like, God, how does my faith and my academics come together? Like, how does it intertwine? And I never understood it until a few years ago. I started to accept it. And I'm like, listen, like what you're doing actually is actually helping people, and you're seeing that it makes a difference. There has been time in my office where dealing with persons as well, dealing with a team. Persons are going through different things, and they'll come and you're talking to them, and you're just kind of understanding, and they'll share some things with you. I remember one day I had to just close my door and say, hey, can I pray with you? And the person was like, absolutely. And so it's not just a Sunday thing at all. It's my everyday, it's my lifestyle. I walk it, I breathe it every time. So that's pretty much, yeah. So I see that part.
Okay, so it is a lifestyle, folks. You are hearing it here from Fiona Dwyer. She is talking about balancing on purpose. And
Mhm.
she says that ministry is not only on Sundays, but it is a lifestyle. It is an everyday thing. Once you wake up in the morning, ministry begins. All right. So we've heard a number of things. We've talked about, the job, the husband, the daughter, work, and, pouring it into persons. You talked about ministry not being only on Sundays. So with everything that we have looked at to this point,
Mhm.
how do you balance everything? How do you balance it all?
That's a very good question. And someone had asked me that question a few years ago. Again, somebody I was mentoring, and I was honest with her because one of the things that you'll find when you meet with me, I like to be honest. And I said to her, "There's no balance, right? There's no balance in it. What you have to do is become organized and pre-plan your day. So, like we said earlier when were beginning, I wear many hats. I wear many hats. I proudly wear them. But of course, there's times when you want to, okay, you have to take off the mom hat and you put on the ministry, the worship leader hat. And then of course you have to jump into the business suit and all of that. But organizing my time has helped me quite a bit. If if I go to bed and I don't pre-plan my day before the next day or before I get going into the next day, my day is a mess. That's just me. I'm like, okay, what am I doing? And it's like so for me, being organized the day before helps me. So I look at my calendar. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing throughout the day. Damon and I, we have a shared calendar. If it's not in the calendar, it does not exist. that's that's our rule. You probably heard it already. If it's not in our calendar, it doesn't exist. We have missed very important things one time because it wasn't in the calendar, and we said, you know what, make sure it's in the calendar. So that's pretty much how we balance my our time, where yes, I know I have multiple different things that I have to do, but I organize my time. I pre-plan my day. We have that shared calendar, and most importantly, too, I accept help from my village. And I talk about my village. I'm talking about my mom, my mother-in-law, my in-laws, my friends. Like I do have to accept that help in balancing everything because love to be superwoman, but it's always not feasible. So that's pretty much how I balance everything because there's no perfect balance, and I just have to be open to the fact that and be fluid. That all right, organizing my time, having that calendar, sticking to the calendar, and making sure things are in there. That's pretty much what I do.
Okay. You know what I love? How transparent you are. There is no balance, people. There's no balance, and when you touched on the fact that there is a calendar and you work from that, oftentimes many will have to do that. So if you find yourself wearing many hats, take a note and from Fiona this morning, get a calendar, get a planner, write it down, or you may miss an important event. All right.
Hmm.
You may miss an important event. And I love the fact that you're taking help from your village. And it's wonderful that you have a village to take help from, So you're listening to Fiona Dwyer this morning, folks, on the segment Balancing on Purpose. And I want to say thank you to all our listeners and all our viewers from across the nations of the world that has joined us this morning. Indeed, it is an honor and a privilege just to have you guys here with us this morning. All right, so listening to you, Fiona, my
Hmm.
next question is, what are you not good at?
Oh gosh. So that's a question I struggle with. um, so I think for me, I'm not good at quitting. And one of the things that takes a whole lot of things into it because it can be good, it can be bad. So for me, letting go of things, and even though I talk about my village helping me, it's hard to quit, like what I'm doing to say, okay, yeah, help me. So it took a lot of growth, which I talked about, to say, okay, all right, I'll accept the help and I'll do this. So I'm not good at quitting. So before, of course, again, like I mentioned, when I had a job, at the end of the day, I could go home, I could, organize my stuff, I could, do this because I had that set time off and everything. So I could, clean my house. I was cooking my dinner and cooking my husband and my family's dinner. No, no, I have to delegate, right? So that was tough. So I don't have to, of course, in the week, my mom or my mom-in-law, they're cooking, right? And so I say, yay, that's awesome. But for my A-type personality, it's sometimes difficult. So I still take charge of my kitchen on a Sunday, most Sundays, let's put that in there. But so quitting for me or quitting stuff is difficult. And so and now I have to accept help from my mom. Sometimes she'll clean my house sometimes if I don't get to it on time and so on. And so I had to learn to accept that and to let go and say, okay, mom, you can do that, or Damien's mom, you can. That was tough for me. And then the other thing too was in my business, I was doing all the admin stuff and everything. I was in the field with Damien as well as admin, operations, logistics, all of it. But I had to learn to let go and get a staff, right? So I had to, get staff to help me. And so I'm so happy too that I was able to bless another mom with the opportunity to be able to work with me and do all the admin stuff so I could focus on, operation side and being in the field. So for me, quitting or stuff or letting go, delegating certain areas is very difficult because having the A-type personality, you want to make sure things are going a certain way. And okay, I can do it better. So I'm going to do it, but learning to just let go and have that done, because there are three things that are most important to me. And I had to learn that: my faith, my family, and my business. That's it. Everything else had to kind of wait. Vacations had to wait. I go on vacation when the company is going. I had to wait. The house had to wait. When I get to it, yes, I'll clean it. So before I was very strict on like, okay, every Saturday or I have to do this or that, and every area of the house has to be. No, my house is clean. But I had to learn to make, prioritize different areas. And like I said, accept help. So, yeah.
I am loving it. You see how transparent she is, folks. She's talking the raw truth. And
Hmm.
I know how it is to be a A-type personality. I do know. So the fact that you're able to delegate right now, I say yay,
Still working on
because I know for A-type personalities, it's difficult. It's really, you hold on to that thing and like, oh, I can do it better, but I'm happy that you have identified that. So chances are eventually we will find something that there will be nothing that you're not good at, eh?
it. I don't know.
Oh, wonderful, 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 folks. So, this is my favorite question, my all time favorite question. And it is: what is your favorite food?
Okay, so my favorite food, of course, I'm Jamaican, so I I love food. My favorite food of all times, and I didn't realize it was my favorite food until a couple of years ago. And every time I would go somewhere, I would order it. So I love oxtail. It's my favorite thing ever. So anywhere I go to a Jamaican restaurant because I mean at home I don't cook it all the time. So anywhere I go, that's the first thing I'm gonna be looking for. Oxtail. That's my favorite food, hands down. So yeah.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So, all the folks over there at WFG, you heard it here.
Mhm.
Your favorite food is oxtail. So, on the day you decide that you're going to buy her lunch,
Yes.
you do not have to wonder what to buy.
Take note.
Oxtail. All right. Oxtail. All right.
Mhm.
So I'm enjoying this conversation and we're going to be wrapping up right about now. But you know what? I have to tell our listeners that guess what, folks? You do know that I have a segment that it comes on Thursday. I'm kind of just throwing you right here. So now we have a segment that comes on Thursday and it's called Let's Talk Business. So, I'm going to be meeting with the Dwyers after this, and I'm going to have them put in their calendar one of these Thursdays that they come on and they talk some business with us because, when we spoke to our Damien, he had mentioned the business, and we're hearing the business talk from Fiona just now. And I want you guys to get some more in-depth knowledge of what they do here in Edmonton. And for those of us who are here in Canada, so their business is not just limited to Edmonton or to Alberta, it's actually right across Canada. And she talked about getting individuals out of the rat race. And so I want to bring you on to our segment, Let's Talk Business. So guys, you're gonna see her face. To that person that says she's pretty, you're gonna see the pretty face again when we have her on the segment Let's Talk Business, and we're going to learn about what they do in the financial world right here in Edmonton. So I want you guys to make a note because we're going to be advertising and they're going to be coming on and they're going to be talking about what they do. And so thank you so much, Fiona, for coming on. Thank you so much for shedding light on how you balance or not balance.
Thank
So
you
I
for
want to
having me.
thank you. All right. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to wrap up if there's anything that you'd love to say to our listeners and to our viewers.
I just want to say that in life, like, don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to grow, because outside of your comfort zone is where you'll find your purpose and where you'll find success. So I want to say to you guys, just go for it. Right? If you're wondering, okay, what is it that I want to do? I don't know what the purpose of my life is. Don't know what my calling is. Like I said, just start by serving, and then God will show you the different areas that makes you happy or give you fulfillment. But be ready to step out of your comfort zone, right? Because outside of that is where you'll find what you're looking for. So thank you guys for listening to me. Thank you, Odette, for having me on. It's always a pleasure to catch up with you.
It is. It is. And I thank you so much for coming on this morning and for shedding some light into how you run your day and how you balance it all. I do appreciate your presence here and I appreciate all of the nuggets that you shared with the listeners and viewers of HGG Radio. I am seeing some comments here and I'm just going to read a few comments before I go. All right. So Krista says, great job, Fiona. You did an amazing job. Um, Tian says, successful business lady. Stephanie says, awesome advice. I'm not sure all of the advice that you gave was awesome. So I'm not sure which one she was talking about at that time, but she says, awesome advice. And Carmen says, great woman of purpose, woman of God, and
That's
a
my
role.
mom.
That's your mom? Okay. Hello, mommy. And a role model. So that's what Carmen says. And all right, and Crystal had said before, great woman of God, friend and leader, right? And so I'm so happy to see all of these comments coming in, and it speaks for itself, folks. So I'm not just here saying, all of these things because I know her, but you're seeing persons jumping on and they're sharing their take on who Fiona is. And Stephanie says, great last word. God bless you and your household. And Tian says, bless her business, Lord. And Marcella says, great job. I'm inspired by you. All right. So thank you again for coming on. Indeed, it was an honor. Indeed, it was a privilege just having you here with us. And as I said, folks, look out for them coming to our segment, Let's Talk Business, where you will hear further about what they do and how they help families get out of the rat race. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you, Lord. They wrote me off. They thought I would die. They tried to bury me while I was alive. They never know purpose cannot die. They thought I was hopeless, but I survived. They wrote me off, yeah. They thought I would die. They tried to bury me while I was alive. They never know purpose. Can I die?
I want to tell you that purpose can't die. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. Once God has his hand on you, purpose can't die. When they give you the lemons, I want you to get up and make some lemonade. When they throw the dirt on you, I want you to stomp on the dirt and make stepping stones, make a step to come out of wherever you are and recognize that purpose can't die. You may be down today, but once purpose is on your life, it has to be fulfilled. And I want you to get up, shake yourself off. Purpose can't die. Be encouraged today, the 19th day of May 2023. Purpose can't die. You're listening to Trey Taylor out of Jamaica. He's reminding you that purpose can't die. We just had a conversation with Fiona Dwyer from right here in Edmonton, Alberta. We talked about purpose. We talked about how she balances all that she does. We recognize that it is a daily task to balance everything that you do from Monday to Friday. And then on Sunday, she reminded us that ministry is not only on Sundays, it is a lifestyle. So I want you to recognize that whatever you're doing, always reflect who you are and whose you are. I want to thank you all for making it HGG Radio. And for those of you who are on Facebook, for those of you who are listening in just now, watching, and you have not yet downloaded the HGG Radio app, I want you to jump on your Apple Store, on your Google Store, and go and download the app. We are an online radio, and we're 24 hours a day right here in Edmonton, Alberta. And I'm going to be jumping off of Facebook. I'm going to be jumping off of YouTube and continue on the radio side of things. Much blessings to you too, Stephanie. It's so good to always see you. Purpose can't die. So for those who have not yet downloaded the app, quickly download the app that you can continue with us here on HGG Radio. You have purpose. It can't die. So I'm giving you some time to jump onto the radio where we're going to continue with our segment this morning. We're going to continue with the morning flow. Thank you so much for listening to Balancing on Purpose. Indeed, purpose can't die. And for those of you who will not be able to jump onto the radio, do have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you again on Monday. But for those who will continue, see you on the radio side of things. God bless you.